Okay, well, what's going on, guys? We're going to go over the tier list of the best playstyles in FC24. This is going to be my opinion, and we're going to be focusing on the playstyle plus variations, but we'll also touch on the normal playstyles as well. We kind of renamed the tiers. We've got must-have, as in, when you have this, this is what I look for in a card, like striker, do I want a finesse shot, etc., etc. We have very good universally. These are things that maybe they work for all players. So let's say if you have, for example, the tiki-taka playstyle works for every single player. You don't need to play that specific style. Then we've got good if you have certain use cases. So like, let's say, for example, the first touch, although maybe a bit more universal, or maybe a better example would be like aerial. If you don't cross the ball, then for you, it wouldn't be that good. Then we have C-air, it's good to have, but you don't, it's okay, whatever. And then rubbish, don't care or don't use. Let's go over them first. We're going to start with the power shot. Now, I know most of you guys don't know the differences. Well, maybe I don't know the differences completely all the way, but I'm sure most of you guys don't also know the exact differences between some of the normal ones and the playstyle plus. Even sometimes myself, I do get confused. I got to always recheck. Now, the power shot, the normal one is actually very, very good. I think universal, it's a very, very good one. But with a significant increase, it's a bit of a weird one. This tier is going to be a bit weird because if you use the power shot, it's probably going to be here must have. But see, I don't really use the power shot that much. I don't really shoot outside the box. So I'm not going to put it on it's good to have a certain uses. I think it's good universal. I think power shot is very, very good, especially the plus variation, especially a first time power shot. Neil, guys, top tip. A first time power shot is actually very, very effective, especially when you're passing the ball inside the box. Now, whipped pass. Now, I want to be very specific on this because people always forget about whipped passes, right? Now remember, the difference between the normal one is all crosses are highly accurate and travel fast with more curve, okay? But the plus variation is all crosses are highly accurate, travels faster and with more curve, but it performs driven crosses with exceptional power. Now, personally, I don't use it, but I can't put it anywhere low. So also, universally, it's a good one. It's a really, really good one. Now, the first touch, I think, in my opinion, is a must-have. Now, this is actually more important for people that play at a more of a passing game. Now, the normal one is it has reduced error when trapping the ball and is able to transition to dribbling with greater control. Now, if you know me, I don't like using skill moves. So when I get the ball to my striker, I want to essentially move off. As soon as I get the ball, move off the space. As soon as I trap the ball, move and then go or take a first touch into space. I think it's a must-have, to be honest. But the plus variation is even better. The minimal error when trapping the ball and able to transition to dribbling much faster with greater control. Now, with driven passes played into the striker, now, especially if you're trying to recycle the ball outside the box, trying to go back around to get the ball to the striker, I think it's a must-have. If I can't get it, it's not the end of the world. But I think, honestly, it's S tier. What it actually does if you know how to use it, I think it's very, very good. Then we're going to go to flair. Look, I'm going to be honest. It's good to have. I mean, it's more of like if you like to do those, don't forget, realistically, where do I use fancy passes and shots? Probably very rarely, if not at all. And I don't even use it. Maybe you might even go down to rubbish, don't care territory, just simply because I don't use it. Again, this is my opinion, I just want to say in regards to this, but that's that one. Press proven, another country one that I'm just like, it's good to have. Now, I know everyone goes to me, press proven, it's game changing. But for me, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, I tried the plus variation. What it does, basically, and I'll read you the exact definition, keeps the close control of the ball when dribbling at a jog speed and can shield the ball more effectively from stronger opponents. And the plus variation is keeps exceptionally close control of the ball while dribbling at a jog speed and can shield the ball much more effectively against stronger opponents. Now, I have a kind of a belief why I think this doesn't work for me. For some people, this is A tier, and I think the reason is because they take bad touches. What I mean, for example, remember I said to always take a touch away from your opponent like a clock? Now, I think some players, they take a touch in areas where they shouldn't take a touch, and they get away with it with press proven. That is why they find it to be very, very effective. Whereas me, I'm always making a touch in that safe area anyway, so I don't notice the difference as much as maybe the average person who probably doesn't have that perfect touch. Not saying that I have, but maybe makes less perfect touches or maybe not as much perfect touches as they should do. That's what I think it's good to have. I know the community's going to go crazy at me, but I expect a lot of players as well, even top tier players, and always say the same thing. You know, there's some unique cases where you may notice it, but when your touches are good normally, you're always going to make that touch through anyway. Rapid, I think it's very, very good. Now, Rapid has this very much its use case. Now, you reach a higher sprint speed while dribbling and has a reduced chance of performing an error when sprinting or performing knock-ons. I don't really use knock-ons that much, but it's mainly the higher sprint speed while dribbling. Maybe I would even consider this being a must-have, to be honest. I'd probably even... It's kind of between those two categories I want to put it in. Maybe I should have created a new category, to be honest. I should have put maybe must-have below A, and then we have God tier ones. We're gonna call this must-have, or we're gonna call it God tier. Really makes a big difference, especially when you got a strike on it or a winger. Very, very good. Now, technical, I think it's A tier. I think it's very, very good. I think this is another one where people think that's very, very good. I think against weaker opponents, I think the plus variation is the more important one here. The normal one is okay, but the playstyle plus is much better. I think realistically the key is that when you verse a player that can't really defend, it's amazing. You know, you get the ball with Messi, you just walk past someone, Bernardo Silva, it's unbelievable. But I think once you verse against competent players in the elite division, it still works. But you can't hold the R1 button down and then just walk past an entire defense. You can't do that at the higher level. You can maybe get past one player, there's a bit of trickery or a bit of change of speed, but you can't walk past an entire team. And that is why for me it goes into A tier and not in God tier. Trickster, I'll be honest, for me, let's not even talk about the glitch thing. That for itself should be in the rubbish tier. But I don't use skill moves. I'm not really that skillful player. If you're someone like Kazooie, maybe probably an S tier or must have. Obviously, the GOAT like Kazooie doing his GOAT tours. Make sure you do check his videos out as well. I think he still streams as well. But to be honest, for me, I just don't use skill moves. Not really my thing. Block, I would say it's A tier. Very, very good. I think the plus variation is much more better than the normal. I mean, if I have the normal one, I'm like, don't really mind that much. It's good. It's very good universally, but I think the plus variation is where it's really, really got to. I think if you have a defender, maybe this would be in between as well, to be honest, because this is one of those ones where you can get away with a lot. Like if you're not in a good position, but you have the block playstyle, the game kind of helps you out. Most places people struggle defensively is inside the box, and the blocks can really help you from those ranges. So I'll say maybe God tier, but I'm probably an S tier. Now, Bruiser. Now, this is I would say B. People want to come at me again. We're going to talk about advanced defending and all this nonsense. Listen. A tackle will always be won if it's a good time tackle. This is the most important thing, okay? I wish I could explain this to everyone. This when this advanced defending came out, look, I don't use it. You don't need to. Half the pros don't use it anyway. With advanced defending, it lets you do a little bit more better if you know how to defend already. The problem is most people don't know how to defend in the first place. And I'm saying that with brute honesty. I'm not going to sit here and paint a beautiful picture when that's not the real case. Most people defending, they spam the tackle button. They don't know when to attack the ball. Now, for those that know, I'm notable for using players with no strength, just good agility and balance and good movement. You can still win the ball with left back or right back that's 5'7" with like 50 strength. But I think in certain use cases, with advanced defending, if you want to add that combination of plus variation, it has its use case, but I wouldn't put it in A tier, if you're asking me. I know people find it a bit more, but I think as long as you run in front of the player, that's the thing. If you're side by side, yeah, it's good. But if you follow my methodology, you run in front. You can always block them out anyway. You see, because most people when they defend, they're always reacting thereafter. You need to react before being position 10. You got to be like John Terry, basically. Maybe your pace not that good, but your positioning is always perfect. Intercept, I think, probably goes to A tier, maybe even God tier, to be honest. I think it's a really, really good one. I think especially if you struggle defensively, you get a much greater reach, especially if someone that's tall with intercept playstyle plus. I think you can really, this is really a CDM center midstream. Maybe for center backs, maybe it's not you don't really see it that much on center backs, but I think for CDMs, I think it's one of the most important ones. If you can have a playstyle plus variation, I think it's very, very good. Dead ball, we're going to go in, is good if you have in certain use cases. It lets you draw the line out so you can see exactly where the ball is going, but you still need shot power for this. This is the most important. You still need shot power for dead ball. I think it's very good, but I think, again, it has that use case. Like, if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. It's kind of like maybe it's maybe it's it's good to have, but I don't really use it that much. Jockey, the most, I want to put this over here, and there's a reason I want to put this here. This is the most important thing if you struggle defensively. Now, it's come to the point now that if you know me, I like to be, even though in my, contrary to belief, my tutorials, I'm a bit more passive because obviously I'm teaching a tutorial. Imagine I'm running out of my centre back like a pro player doing. Someone's trying to watch my video like, oh, that's how Neil plays. Let me copy that. They're going to fail at it. And that's the reason why I always try to teach basic football. You can always be aggressive. It's like you can always learn to like use shift paddles, heel and toe when you're driving a car. You can always learn to skid and slide after you learn how to drive in the first place. If you don't know how to drive in the first place, you don't have to change the gears, forget about it. But the jockey is so good because it helps you get away with things. So most people, they struggle defensively because the defenders are too slow, or their opponent's on a skill move and they've beaten them. That's your opponent, you got beaten, but the jockey allows you to quickly move in front, especially the jockey playstyle plus. If you struggle defensively, every single one of your that's why Kunde is one of the best centre backs gold cards inside the game. In fact, Kunde can still last, gold Kunde can still last at this stage. That's why his Trailblazer is garbage. The plus variation. If you struggle defensively, use jockey playstyle plus. You use pairs like Lamptey. The standard one is good. Like someone with Virgil van Dijk with it, but someone like Kunde, Lamptey, these cards, honestly, you can honestly get away with murder. That is how good it is. You can honestly get away with someone actually running past you, and you can actually catch up to them with the run and jockey, especially if you struggle with control and run jockey speed, the shift, transition. Don't forget, this increases the max speed of the sprint jockey. So even if your defensive awareness is 80, but you got the jockey playstyle plus, you're going to move faster. So that's why a centre mid who has it, maybe you have 78 defensive awareness and someone's got 65, but with a jockey playstyle, maybe it can be even better. But the transition speed is also very, very important as well between jockey to sprint. But we'll get on to that another time. Slide tackle, I think it's good to have. I don't really notice it that much. I feel like my slide tackles are good. If you don't watch me normally, I think I slide a lot. I probably slide most of anyone that I know. I know the game sometimes slides with the wrong foot, but I feel like because slide tackles the way they are, it doesn't really make even I used the plus on Wan-Bissaka, I believe. I didn't notice anything crazy, to be honest. Maybe I didn't use it enough, but I think it's good to have. But it's not the thing I look for. Anticipate, I think we'll put in A tier universal. I think the stand tackle success, the only reason why this is going here is because you should be able to get the ball with a normal tackle and win the ball. Like this technically would be, in theory, here. Maybe even, here. Because you should win the ball all the time. Because the game is garbage. And there's so many rebounds. And I feel like when you're going to make a tackle and anticipate, and don't forget, the difference between plus is a significantly improved chance of stand tackle success. I think the normal one is meh, but I think the plus gets it to A tier universal. I think when you win the ball, at least you're going to win the ball and you don't expect a rebound. That's kind of the main benefit of it, and that's kind of why I'd put it in that tier. Acrobatic, rubbish, don't care, to be honest. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you like to spam all those scissor kicks now, maybe it's a bit different for you, or whatever you like to do, but I don't. Aerial, I'd probably say an A tier universal, maybe God tip. For me, specifically speaking, it's not a must-have for me. For most of you, this would be here, but for me, it's really, really good. I mean, I'd want it. If I have a striker, I'm obviously going to choose that. I don't score headers, but defensively, I think it's very, very important. Players like Virgil van Dijk. Like if Virgil van Dijk had like a plus style variation, in theory, for example, with, for example, a jockey playstyle plus, would just be unbelievable. Even his gold card with those two playstyles plus would be one of the best centre backs inside the game, as in his gold card, competing with some of the best cards, even the team of the years. Trivela, it's been nerfed, but I think now it's more of good to have for certain use cases. It would be here, but I think the use cases are you score Trivelas. The plus variation is garbage, by the way. People don't know. The plus variation is reduced errors on outside the foot passes, not outside the foot shots. People always get that confused. So the normal one is good. The plus is basically a waste of time. I have it on, I believe it's, I don't even know his name. I forgot his name, but I got him up front in that striker. I forgot what his name is. Can't believe I forgot his name. Who's that Man City striker? 5'8". I forgot his name. I honestly forgot his name. Alvarez, yeah, I got an Alvarez, I believe. I don't really notice it that much, to be honest. Again, maybe it's because I don't really score Trivellas that much, but that's just something for you to know. So yeah, I think it's a decent one, but I don't mean by any means. I don't think it's anything god tier, if you're asking me. Well, I think it's Alvarez anyway. Then we go over to Relentless. I think it's good to have. I don't think it's, you know, stamina. I agree it's important, but I don't think it's like this real, okay, we need to have it, we must have it kind of thing, you know. That's why it probably goes for me. It's good to have, but it's not the end of the world for me. I don't really look at, I don't even consider it in any of my players that I'm using. So I'm just trying to think. I think I got on owner as well, but I don't think there's really any worth having it there. Quick step, I think it's god tier, must have. Now I'm gonna see if I can quickly find that clip for you actually. There's a real nice clip of the Playstyles. Let me see if I can find it. Can I? No, I can't. Okay. Anyway, I'll just bring it up for you anyway. I just think it's probably one of the better ones. I would say in a striker, I would say rapid and quick step and first touch are one of the three that I look for immediately, especially doing the boost as well. Certain skill moves as well with quick step. The explosive sprint is running in a straight direction. I think if you have like a player like Mbappe, you do a step over and you move. I think with rapid and quick step play styles together plus variations are very. That's why I'm considering doing that evolution. I forgot what the evolution name is. See if I can find it. But this evolution I'm doing where it's got quick step and play style, not the pluses, but I think quick step just goes a bit better. We'll reorder it towards at the end as well. Long throw is good to have. I'm not going to say it. Far throw goalkeeper. Oh, I think it's good. Very, very good universally. I think this is goalkeeper, by the way. Far throw, there's no plus variation to goalkeeper. This is one of the most underrated ones inside the game. Especially when you have a corner and you capture the ball in your hands and you want to throw the ball. It's very good for starting a counter attack. I really like it, especially if you use the I think for you would be R1 plus X. Those throws, I think that's with your controls. I think it's really, really good. I think it's, in my honest opinion, I think it's very, very good. I think it's very underrated. People don't really look at it until you really have it, but it's amazing. I think how far the ball can go with accuracy as well. Chip shot, it's probably going to go in. It's good to have. I know they've made some adjustments to chip shots, but I'm just thinking now, like, how many times do I score a chip shot? The chip shot playstyle plus, I think Ben Yedder has it, if I'm not mistaken. To be completely honest, to be completely candid, I've not really done that many chip shots after they adjusted the chip shots. So maybe it could be different now. I could be wrong. To be completely honest, I could be wrong. I've not really done chip shots this year. When a goalkeeper comes out, you trip it, they still block it anyway. And chips, for example, you tap it, the ball just goes a little bit. You do a little bit more than a tap and it goes over the net. It's not really my thing. I think footwork goes, people say this is useless. I think this is very, very good. Increased reaction to speed in one-on-one situations, especially when a goalkeeper comes out when you press triangle button. Excuse me, it's very, very important. This is the old kind of like saves with feet kind of trait kind of thing. I think it goes to A very universally. Cross claimer, to be honest, I don't. I don't really think I've actually even tested this one. I'm just going to put it in good uses. I don't think I've actually used it that much. I can't comment on this one. Rushes out with the keeper. This kind of same with footwork. I still think this is very, very good. Have increased speed and running. I think especially when coming out. I think footwork and rush out together collectively are very, very good for goalkeepers. Far reach. Now, far reach kind of let me down. Maybe for finesses it used to be good. But I'm just going to put it A for universal because if a goalkeeper has it, I'm very, very happy. I don't think it's certain use cases because the far reach is really going to help you a lot of things. The same with quick reflexes. All these together, they kind of all go in together if you're asking me. They're all very good to have, but they're not like certain use cases. I think most times a goalkeeper is going to use one of these, or at least maybe even a combination of all of them throughout a game. You know, if you especially bring the goalkeepers out, these two are very important. For finesse, maybe you can argue Traveller, this is also important. And quick reflexes, to be honest, it's hard to measure this, but I'm pretty sure it's probably made a difference. Again, it's very hard to find. I think Casillas is the only goalkeeper that I use that has all of them, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. It's very hard. I remember when the game came out, it was very hard to find someone that had all the playstyles. I think Casillas, let me double check. Casillas, does he have it? No, he's got far throw and quick. Someone had all four. I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure I saw Casillas having all the playstyles. Maybe I was wrong, but it's a very decent one. Maybe we'll put this one down to certain if you use it, because not everyone uses far throws. Again, this is my list. Finesse shot, I think it's S tier. Even after the patch, I think it's still very, very good, especially the plus variation. The normal variation is a bit meh, but the plus variation is definitely a game changer. I think, you know how the finesse shot meta was. Without it, it wasn't the same. Power headers, I don't use it. I'm going to put it in good to have. Maybe you can argue A tier. When we reorder this, in terms of the best, I'll probably do it then. Now, I think incisive pass is an interesting one. I think it's God tier. I don't really use it that much, to be honest. I think I was going to go God tier. I think it's obviously very, very good to have. I'm just trying to think. I mean, maybe with manual through balls, maybe this would be even better, to be honest. But precision pass, to be honest, I use precision lob passes, not precision passes, ground passes, like R1 plus triangle. So I think it's S tier. I still think it's very, very good. It's a big difference, but because I don't use it, no, I'll leave it S tier. I'll leave it S tier. Pinged pass, oh, my favorite one. You know, when I made a video when a game came out, there was a combination of the pinged pass playstyle plus and the first touch playstyle plus. Before the nerf came out, I don't know if they nerfed it because they saw that video that I uploaded on Twitter. Maybe they did, or maybe they realized this themselves. But I used to get the ball with a centre mid. I used to use a Stanway and the other player, the Chelsea player, I forgot her name. I used to literally, and cover shit somewhere, just spam pinged playstyle plus passes, someone who's got a good first touch. Unbelievable. So if you've got the first touch playstyle plus, which is very hard to get in Bergkamp, and I think Van Nistelrooy, a few other players have it. It's unbelievable because you can do an immediate pinged pass to the striker and then take a shot before your opponent can even think about it, because the pinged pass used to move, but now it's not, but it used to move so quick. Like, you could press the pinged pass, go bam, and it used to be so quick. Long ball pass definitely goes into S tier. There's no doubt about that. I use that a lot more, especially when trying to clear the ball. And tiki-taka, I think for me goes, I have that with a senior. He plays as my cam. Don't forget, tiki-taka is only for first time passes, by the way. I think it's really good, especially inside the box. Like if you're doing like a cut back, but like a double cut back, I think it's very, very effective that way. But that is a tier list. I believe everything. I'm just double checking the site here. If there's anything that I missed. Okay, now we're going to put it in order of importance of best to worst. Okay. Quick step goes number 1. Rapid goes number 2. Then I'll do maybe finesse shot, not so much. So for me, then I will do jockey, finesse shot, first touch. For me, pinged pass, long ball, and I'm trying to think whether I use more through balls. Okay, I think I'll leave it like that. I think power shot you can probably even move to. You know what? Maybe I want to change this up actually. Okay, you know what? I'll do 2. I'll do 1, which what will be my one, and then I'll do what I think for the entire community. This will be my one first. I will then do block plus power shot, width pass I don't use, so that's the only reason I'm dropping this down. Technical I don't really use. I'll put anticipate just because of rebounds. I'll do it like this. Like this. I'll put, I don't really use a bruiser. Power head, even though I don't use, but I'm thinking defensively. Cross claimer. This with that I will do it. Flare. Press proof I don't care about. Flare I don't care about. Slide tackle, relentless. Maybe chip shot before that. That's the way that I would personally mark my one up in terms of playstyles. Now, what the community would think, I'd probably say this probably goes up here. This goes up here. This goes up here. This goes up here. This probably goes up here over there. This probably goes up here. I think people are gonna probably say Powerhead and Bruiser goes into A tier. I think Slata probably go to good, must have. Flare, I think people would think Press Rhythm's A tier, which I don't personally think it is. And then Chip Shot, and I think something like this. I think this is something that I think the community, and then maybe to put Bruiser here. This is what I think the community probably would pick, something along those. Maybe actually no, maybe Jockey should be higher. I think it should be actually like this. You can maybe like that. Maybe they might put Air a little bit higher actually. Maybe that's what the community. Maybe that's what the community probably would pick in terms of tier list. But I think it all just depends. At the end of the day, it depends on your playstyle. You know what I put as my playstyle. If you don't score free kicks. Like I don't actually score free kicks. I actually pass. I start scoring a bit more with dead ball, to be fair, if I have a dead ball player. But that's kind of my tier list. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I always give you a bit of an example of kind of what my thoughts were in terms of the playstyles and tier list. And I'll get back to some live commentaries. Hopefully not feel a bit better as well later on this week. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget Periods and Tactics is coming out tomorrow. Don't forget if you want to join my Patreon, it says patreon.com/no guys want to get better FC24. Link down below in the description for FC School Series. If you don't get better after 1 month, it's a money back guarantee. We'll refund your money. It's a no guys guarantee. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.